Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a new series that I wanted to get started on, and it's called This or That. So often cosmetics companies will come out with new products at around the same time as their competitors, and they look very similar to each other. And so I wanted to kick today's video off with two of the drugstore matte glosses. So I picked up some of the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Mattes, and then I picked up a couple of the Maybelline Vivid Matte liquids. So today we're going to compare and contrast those and figure out, should you get this or should you get that? First off, we're going to get into the lip swatches, and we're going to watch those first, and then we're going to come back here and talk about all of them. Saw in the lip swatches, I did end up getting 4 of the L'Oreal ones and only 2 of the Maybellines. These were extremely hard to get my hands on. I had to go to several different Walmart, Target, Walgreens, and CVS's to even just get all of the Pro Mattes that I did, and it literally took me going all the way across the country to find these Vivid Mattes. I finally got my hands on just these 2 colors that were left in Sacramento in a Walmart, so I was glad to get those because in my area, they're just not on the shelves at all. I don't know if they're sold out or they just haven't made it here yet, but I was glad to at least be able to get 2 of them. Some specifics about each one of these. Now, the Maybelline ones are 0.26 ounces and the L'Oreal's are 0.21 ounces. So there is just a slight size difference in them, and of course one does have a squattier package and the other one has a more elongated one. Now the Vivid Mattes are $7.99, whereas the Pro Mattes are $9.99. So you're paying a little bit more for a little bit less product in the Infallible ones. Now the claims on both of these is that they will have very intense bold color and that they will have medium to full coverage for the lip color saturation, and they both claim that they will go on matte and have a long wearing finish. So now let's go over some pros and cons of each of these. The Infallible Pro Mattes are what I'm going to start out with. On these, I really love the applicator. It is a kind of flattened spade-shaped applicator, and if you can see, it has a little well in the center of the front and back so that you can really get some product on there. And I always just use one swipe to cover both of my top and bottom lips, and it works perfectly for that. Applicator on the Vivid Mattes is more of a just flattened out rectangular doe foot applicator. It's just all one size. There's no spade shape to it or any shape really, just a rectangle, and you don't get quite as precise of an application with this doe foot applicator. So I do prefer the Infallible Pro Matte applicator over the Vivid Matte one. In terms of the way that the product goes on, both of these have a very creamy texture. I find that the Infallible ones do go on with a bit more of a whipped / cream texture, as opposed to the Vivid Mattes. They have almost more of a heavy cream texture. So that is something to keep in mind. I do also notice with the Vivid Mattes that because of the slightly heavier texture, it does tend to travel outside of my lip lines just a little bit more so with the darker colors for sure. This is definitely a formula that you would want to wear a lip liner with. So if that's kind of a make or break for you, you might consider going with the Infallible. Now, my number one complaint with both of these products is that they both claim to go on matte, and I don't find that to be the case at all. As you can see in the lip swatches, I put them on and waited about 5 minutes before I showed each one on camera, and you can tell that they are still very much shiny. Not so much gloss shiny, but a regular cream lipstick type shine. And throughout the day as I'm wearing it, I don't really find that I get a completely matte finish on them. I do find that a slight bit of shine goes away, but as it goes away, you're also losing the color that you have put on your lips. So you can never truly obtain a matte lip look with this product. It is a product that as it fades away, the darker colors especially will leave somewhat of a stain, but you will feel the need to reapply because you can definitely tell that the color has left your lips and that you have no product, just a slight tint to it. I do find that the deeper colors on the Infallible do give just a hint more stain than the Vivid Mattes. What I also found kind of interesting is that because they both don't dry down to a matte finish, I assumed that they would be more hydrating. And what I found was that as the Vivid Mattes dried down, my lips got really, really dry, like in need of chapstick dry. And I found that really kind of interesting because you would think that because it's creamier, you wouldn't have that issue. Now, I did not experience the same issue with the Infallible Pro Mattes. I really like the way that they wear down. So here's the two packaging right next to each other, and I do find that I have a favorite in the packaging area. I really like the Vivid Matte packaging. I think it just looks a little bit more sophisticated and elegant. It looks a little bit more modern than the Infallible Pro Matte. It just kind of looks a tiny bit dated in comparison to the Vivid Matte. So packaging, the Vivid Matte definitely wins. In terms of the range of the colors, I do think that I find more colors in the Pro Matte that I like better than the Vivid Matte. However, if you are a fan of the more bold colors, Vivid Matte would probably be the one that you would want to go for. I do also find the darker shades to be slightly more patchy than the lighter shades in both of these ranges, so that is definitely something to keep in mind. So overall, taking all of those factors into account, would I recommend this or that? So my favorite is definitely the Infallible Pro Matte by L'Oreal. I do find that it goes on slightly more matte than the other, and it dries down a little bit more gracefully and leaves my lips feeling a little bit more hydrated. I do plan on continuing this series. I have quite a few things on order right now that are very similar to each other, and I would really like to try out and tell you guys this or that for those. And just as an update, we did get back very, very late this week. We were stuck in 2 different snowstorms, so this is the only video that I'm able to put up this week. However, next week we'll be back to regular schedule. I'm going to be trying to get up at least 2 videos per week for you guys. And just to let you know, I have quite a few mascara type reviews coming up and some roundups for those, and there are a ton of new lip products coming out that I'm going to be getting up videos for those. And then I also have some Kevin Aqua stuff that I am really excited to give you guys my thoughts on, and a lot of other great things coming up. So don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss any of those. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Can we get it together? And I ficked, really? What was that? Oh, okay. Why